10. Fatal bear attack. A hiker killed by a rampaging black bear left behind a photograph of the deadly animal just before he was attacked. Amazingly, the very last thing this hiker did was take a picture of the very animal that killed him. The attack occurred in West Milford's Opshawap Reserve in September. The victim was 22-year-old Darsh Patel, who had been studying at Rutgers University at the time. Darsh was with a group of friends when they encountered the bear after a long day of hiking. They came to a halt when they saw it no more than 300 feet, 91 meters away from them. Rather than being immediately afraid of the bear, Darsh took out his camera and began photographing it. After a bit of a photo shoot, the hikers turned and continued on their way. The bear had other plans. It ran up to them, causing the group to panic and split up in different directions. The bear decided to chase Darsh, who was last seen trying to scramble up a rock formation as he screamed for help while the bear was hot on his trail. This was the last time he was seen alive. Emergency responders found the body of Darsh Patel several hours later, around the same time that a police officer tracked down and shot the bear. An autopsy revealed that Darsh had been mauled to death. Pieces of his flesh were found inside the stomach of the bear. When deputies checked his cell phone, they found the last thing he did before running for his life was snap a few photos of the angry beast that would, just minutes later, tear him to shreds. Guess that bear really didn't like having his picture taken. 9. Magpie Devils. In Australia, tragedy struck after an unfortunate encounter with a wild magpie. Magpies are known in Australia for being nuisances, very annoying birds that sometimes attack hikers and cyclists for absolutely no reason at all. They often dive bomb people's heads and terrorize them, though these unprovoked attacks never usually result in death or even serious injury. That all changed when Simone from Brisbane was going for a stroll in the park with her young baby, 5-month-old Mia. The magpie must have been defending its nest because it burst out of the trees like a bat out of hell and started attacking Simone's head. The young mother was shocked by the random attack and tried to stumble away from the frantic bird. In her effort to get away, she tripped over her own feet, accidentally dropping the baby. Oh no! Little Mia was rushed to the hospital, but there was nothing doctors could do. Even before her first birthday, she was dead, and all because of an annoying bird. The family is obviously devastated, as life will never be the same for them again. According to the New York Daily News, the bird was taken by a professional animal handler and released far away in the bush. If you're wondering why it wasn't immediately killed for what it did, it's because magpies in Australia are a protected species. They aren't legally allowed to kill them, even when they accidentally murder babies. 8. Death by turtle. A man in Florida has been killed by a turtle. The turtle didn't set out to kill him, but it killed him nonetheless. David Curvin was out for a leisurely nighttime ride on his motorized bicycle when the deadly incident occurred. David was no stranger to nighttime riding, though despite all his experience, nothing could prepare him for a giant turtle sitting beside the roadway, completely invisible in the night. David crashed his motorcycle into the turtle, which caused him to lose control. He went down hard, so hard that David smashed his head on the ground, scrambled his brains, and died. According to Florida Today, the Brevard County fire rescue crews arrived at the scene to discover David's limp body and the turtle not far away. He was already dead when the emergency responders showed up. And as for the turtle, it survived with a minor injury, a small crack in its shell. It likely didn't try to trip up David on his night ride, but that's just what happened. What do you think of this story? Are turtles getting more and more murderous by the day? Let us know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you're liking this video, be sure to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. 7. Leopard in the village. In southwestern India, a man killed a violent assailant with his bare hands. But this was no ordinary assailant. It was a leopard. The big cat came out of the bushes and attacked the man's wife and daughter. The family was riding their bicycles near their small village and had never expected for a huge female leopard to mistake them for prey. The leopard was seemingly excited by the bicycles, kind of like how some dogs get excited by cars. It tried to chase down his wife and bite her ankles as she pumped hard on the pedals. The bite force of a leopard is so intense that it could easily have snapped her ankle like a skinny twig. But the husband was having nothing to do with the aggressive cat. He jumped off his bicycle and engaged the beast in hand-to-hand combat. Miraculously, he managed to beat the thing to death. Although it almost cost him his own life, he was left with blood gushing out of his head and neck from the violent struggle, needing to be rushed to the hospital. His life was saved by doctors, and his wife and daughter were totally okay. It came out a few days later that the leopard had previously attacked others, including a veterinarian who had tried to track it down. 6. Eaten alive by bear. 4 friends on a camping trip to the Russian wilderness experienced the worst nightmare imaginable. It happened when a hungry predator literally ate one of the campers while his 3 friends could do nothing but watch. The unfortunate victim of the savage bear attack was 42-year-old Yevgeny Starkov. The friends were visiting the Yergagi Nature Park deep in Siberia, having no idea the dangers that awaited them. They were just packing up their tents for the day when the bear appeared out of nowhere. According to one of the witnesses, the bear was no more than a few feet from them. Not knowing what to do, they panicked and tried to run away. Unfortunately for Yevgeny, he didn't make it very far. He was unable to escape the beast, and it pounced on his back. The snarling and drooling bear then tore him apart and began gnawing on his face while his friends watched in horror. After a few seconds of watching this terror unfold, the 3 survivors ran for their lives. Much to their dismay, the bear gave up eating their friend and then chased after them. They only managed to escape by climbing up a rock cliff. They then had to walk through the forest for 7 hours without shoes to reach civilization, where they could finally call for help. But unfortunately, by the time help arrived, Yevgeny had already bled to death. 5. Bobcat mayhem. A man in North Carolina was standing outside his house when the unthinkable happened. This incredible event was caught on the man's outdoor camera. In the footage, he can be seen waving good morning to his neighbor, then sitting his morning coffee down and admiring his car. His wife then enters the camera frame carrying a small animal carrier. His wife is also screaming. As it turns out, a bobcat had come out of nowhere to attack the poor lady. Not wasting any time, the husband lurched into action. He ran around his car, got between his wife and the hungry cat, and actually managed to pick the thing up and lift it over his head. He held it over his head as if the cat were a set of dumbbells, then threw it across the yard. The neighbor he had said hi to just moments before must have heard the commotion, because he ran back and helped the husband shoo the bobcat away. And seeing as this is in North Carolina, the husband can then be seen in the camera footage pulling a gun from a holster on his hip and aiming it at the bobcat. Luckily for the bobcat, it scampered away before the husband could get a clear shot. To understand why this attack occurred, we have to go back to the wife with the animal carrier. She had been carrying their dog out to the car when the bobcat saw it and decided to try to eat it. After the bobcat escaped, local authorities tracked the beast down and euthanized it. 4. Santa Fe monkey madness. In Texas, a mysterious monkey-like monster has been spotted prowling the streets and attacking people. Terrified witnesses have described the beast as being some kind of chimpanzee, though police say the identity of the mysterious creature has not yet been confirmed. It's definitely some kind of humanoid, and it's been spotted within the city limits of Santa Fe. One witness saw the monkey monster try to steal a cat. Her name is Patricia de la Mora, and she dialed 911 after seeing a primate on a street corner trying to pick up a cat and run away with it. By the time the police arrived, the creature had already vanished into the darkness and was long gone. The next day, the monkey creature moved from cats to humans, A woman reported to the police that she spent 20 minutes hiding in her car after she was attacked by the very same monster. According to the local Santa Fe news station, the woman was quoted as saying, "A monkey tried to attack her while she checked her mail." Amazingly, the police didn't manage to catch the creature. Since then, a child has been attacked, others have reported seeing the beast, and yet law enforcement personnel have come up short each and every time. The monkey has still not been caught, and it's wreaking havoc in Santa Fe. 3. Raging Bull. In Punjab, India, a raging bull stormed into a house filled with workers and tried to kill everyone inside. Somehow, everyone managed to get away without any injury, but it was a very close call. According to the local news, the bull had gotten thrown into a fit of rage after facing off with another bull outside. Angry and with nowhere to go, the bull broke into the workshop where about half a dozen men were sitting quietly. At least, they were quiet until the bull smashed through the front door. Everyone inside scrambled and tried to get away while the beast smashed apart everything in the room and tore the place to pieces. The workers managed to scramble out the door just in time, but it must have been a terrifying few seconds. This was a fully grown bull, hundreds of pounds heavy with massive horns on his head that it could use to gouge a person's insides out. In the end, the bull eventually calmed down and walked out the front door as if nothing happened. The owners of the workshop came home to find their place in ruins, and the bull already long gone. 2. Rabid fox at the roller coaster park. A family in Virginia got a little more than they bargained for on their most recent family vacation. Instead of having a fun day riding roller coasters, they ended up at the hospital after a rabid fox came out of nowhere and tried to eat them. According to Jamie Weiss himself, the family was just minding their own business when the attack occurred. They had only been at the park for about an hour when the fox sprinted onto the path in front of them, then leaped at their son, Donovan, as if it wanted to tear him apart. It grabbed hold of the child's leg and shook, but Jamie was able to pry the animal off and throw it into the bushes. That didn't stop it for long. The animal came back and attacked again, 2 more times. By the time the fox finally left them alone and retreated, Donovan was left with a puncture wound on his leg. The family had to ditch their roller coaster vacation and go to the hospital so that Donovan could get a rabies shot. But don't worry. It wasn't all bad. After the family got their shots, they returned to the park to finish off their day. They weren't about to let a rabid fox ruin the final day of their family vacation. 1. Dog madness. 2 young girls were recently taken to the hospital after narrowly escaping a brutal dog attack. They were minding their own business, walking down the street at about 12:30 in the afternoon when the animal set its sights on them. The dog ran across the street, bursting onto the scene out of nowhere. It seemed intent on getting the children, and although the mother tried to defend her kids as best as possible, the dog was so big and so vicious that it overpowered her. Luckily, the attack happened inside of a cul-de-sac. It was also in the middle of the afternoon, so there were a lot of people around. A man named Mr. Baig heard the commotion and came to the rescue. As he rushed to help, the dog had one of the girl's ankles in its teeth, about to snap her bones with its powerful jaws. Mr. Baig kicked the beast a few times until it let go and scampered away. The crisis was averted, the kids were taken to the hospital, and the dog disappeared just as quickly as it had come. What's the craziest animal attack you've ever witnessed? Let me know in the comments, and thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and come back again for another awesome video.